Hi, so I wanted to post a video on some quotes that I found in the Hatchet that we'll discuss in our Zoom meeting tomorrow. So hopefully you guys have caught up to finish your book. I think most of you have, but there's a few quotes at the end that I wanted to read, and then I want to ask you a few questions about them. So this is chapter 19. It says, treasure, unbelievable riches. He could not believe the contents of the survival pack. So, unbelievable riches. So, if we were to read that out of context, we might think, like literal riches, like gold and money, technology. For him, in considering the context of his situation, that all these things are so vital to him. He hasn't had regular food. He hasn't had, a blanket to sleep with. He hasn't had any way to contact anyone. He hasn't had any real weapons besides the hatchet that he started with and anything that he made along the way. But he didn't have any other man-made items besides his hatchet that he really could use. So I want you to think about why he could not believe the contents. Like, why is this so unbelievable to him? And why does he feel like he's found treasure? And then the next part that I wanted to read to you was, it also says later here, it has a cap, and he wondered why the cap was included. He says, incredible wealth. It was like all the holidays in the world, all the birthdays were. He sat in the sun by the doorway where he had dropped the night before and pulled the presents, as he thought of them, out one at a time to examine them, turn them in the light, touch them, and feel them with his hands and eyes. So it's like all of his birthdays and Christmases all combined when he's opening up the survival pack, because for him, it's kind of like life and death. And so if, when you're in that situation, to have like a hamburger would be like the most amazing thing. I mean, if you like hamburgers, but whatever your favorite food is, if you dreamed of hamburgers, it's like totally the most amazing thing. But to us, if we have our favorite food fairly regularly, it's not as big of a deal. And then it talks about when he holds the rifle. It says, it was a strange feeling holding the rifle. It somehow removed him from everything around him. So how do you think the rifle removes him from everything around him? And it says, without the rifle, he had to fit in, to be a part of it all, to understand it and use it, the woods, all of it. With the rifle, suddenly he didn't have to know, did not have to be afraid or understand. He didn't have to get close to a full bird to kill it. Didn't have to know how it would stand if he didn't look at it and moved off to the side. The rifle changed him. The minute he picked it up, and he wasn't sure he liked the change very much. So how do you guys feel about the rifle, and how has it changed him? And if he had found this survival pack right away and the rifle right away, how would it have changed the story? And would he have had to go through the same sort of trials and problems that he went through without it? And, how has weapons such as the rifle changed mankind in general? I mean, even thinking back to when we first learned about the first humans, and how their weapons changed from having to get really close to the animal to kill it to using a bow and arrow and spears that they could throw, and how that kind of changed advancement of what they were able to do and how much food was available to them. So having the rifle really changes things for him. And wanted to just to touch on that. And then obviously he has the transmitter. So at the end, I also want to talk about what you guys thought about some alternate endings that you maybe would have liked to see happen, or like how you felt about the ending. So that's it for now, and I'll see you guys on Friday tomorrow.